the seer with wonder views, then, pausing, thus his prophecy renews: "The nymph, who scatters flaming fires around, Shall shine with honour, shall herself be crown'd; But, caus'd by her irrevocable fate, War shall the country waste, and change the state." Latinus, frighted with this dire ostent, For counsel to his father Faunus went, And sought the shades, renown'd for prophecy, Which near Albunea's sulph'rous fountain lie. To these the Latian and the Sabine land Fly, when distress'd, and thence relief demand. The priest on skins of off'rings takes his ease, And nightly visions in his slumber sees. A swarm of thin aerial shapes appears, And fluttering round his temples decks his ears. These he consults, and future fates to know, From powers above and from the fiends below. Here for the gods' advice Latinus flies, Off'ring 100 sheep for sacrifice. Their woolly fleeces, as the rites requir'd, He laid beneath him, and to rest retir'd. No sooner were his eyes in slumber bound, When from above a more than mortal sound Invades his ears, and thus the vision spoke: "Seek not, my seed, in Latian bands to yoke Our fair Lavinia, nor the gods provoke. A foreign son upon thy shore descends, Whose martial fame from pole to pole extends. His race in arms and arts of peace renown'd, Not Latium shall contain, nor Europe bound. 'Tis theirs, whate'er the sun surveys around." These answers, in the silent night receiv'd, The king himself divulged, the land believ'd. The fame thro' all the neighb'ring nations flew, When now the Trojan navy was in view. Beneath a shady tree, the hero spread His table on the turf, with cakes of bread, And with his chiefs on forest fruits he fed. They sate, and not without the gods' command. Their homely fare dispatch'd, the hungry band Invade their trenchers next, and soon devour, To mend the scanty meal, their cakes of flour. Ascanius thus observ'd, and smiling said: "See, we devour the plates on which we fed." The speech had omen, that the Trojan race Should find repose in this the time and place. Aeneas took the road, and thus replies, Confessing fate with wonder in his eyes: "All hail, O earth! All hail, my household gods! Behold the destin'd place of your abodes. For thus Anchises prophesied of old, And this our fatal place of rest foretold. When, on a foreign shore instead of meat, By famine forc'd, your trenchers shall you eat. Then ease your weary Trojans will attend, And the long labours of your voyage end. Remember on that happy coast to build, And with a trench enclose a fruitful field. This was that famine, this the fatal place Which ends the wandering of our exiled race. Then on tomorrow's dawn your care employ, To search the land, and where the cities lie, And what the men, but give this day to joy. Now pour to Jove, and after Jove is blest, Call great Anchises to the genial feast. Crown high the goblets with a cheerful draught, Enjoy the present hour, adjourn the future thought. Thus having said, the hero bound his brows With leafy branches, then perform'd his vows, Adoring first the genius of the place, Then Earth, the mother of the heavenly race. The nymphs, and native godheads yet unknown, In night, and all the stars that gild her sable throne. The ancient Cybele, and Idaean Jove, And last his sire below, and mother queen above. Then heaven's high monarch thundered thrice aloud, and thrice he shook aloft a golden cloud. Soon through the joyful camp a rumor flew, the time was come their city to renew. Then every brow with cheerful green is crown'd, the feasts are doubled, and the bowls go round. When next the rosy morn disclosed the day, the scouts to several parts divide their way, to learn the natives' names, their towns explore, the coasts and trendings of the crooked shore. Here Tiber flows, and here Numicus stands. Here warlike Latins hold the happy lands. The pious chief, who sought by peaceful ways to found his empire, and his town to raise, 100 youths from all his train selects, and to the Latian court their course directs. The spacious palace where their prince resides, and all their heads with wreaths of olive hides, they go commissioned to require peace, to carry presents, to procure access. Thus, while they speed their pace, the prince designs his new elected seat, and draws the lines. The Trojans round the place a rampire cast, and palisades about the trenches placed. Meantime the train, proceeding on their way, from far the town and lofty towers survey. At length approach the walls. Without the gate they see the boys and Latian youth debate for martial prizes on the dusty plain. Some drive the cars, and some the coursers rein. Some bend the stubborn bow for victory, and some with darts their active sinews try. A posting messenger, dispatch'd from hence, of this fair troop advis'd their aged prince. With foreign men of mighty stature came, uncouth their habit, and unknown their name. The king ordains their entrance, and ascends his regal seat, surrounded by his friends. A palace, built by Picus, vast and proud, supported by 100 pillars stood, and round encompassed with a rising wood. The pile o'erlooked the town, and drew the sight, surpris'd at once with reverence and delight. There kings receiv'd the marks of sov'reign pow'r, in state the monarchs march'd, the lictors bore their awful axes, and the rods before. Here the tribunal stood, the house of pray'r, and here the sacred senators repair. All at large tables, in long order set, a ram their offering, and a ram their meat. Above the portal, carved in cedar wood, placed in their ranks, their godlike grandsires stood. Old Saturn with his crooked scythe on high, and Italus that led the colony, and ancient Janus with his double face and bunch of keys, the porter of the place. There good Sabinus, planter of the vines, on a short pruning hook his head reclines, and studiously surveys his generous wines. Then warlike kings, before their country fought, and honorable wounds from battle brought. Around the posts hung helmets, darts, and spears, captive chariots, axes, shields and bars, and broken beaks of ships, trophies of their wars. Above the rest, as chief of all the band, was Picus placed, a buckler in his hand. His other wav'd a long divining wand. Girt in his Gaban gown the hero sate, yet could not with his art avoid his fate. For Circe long had loved the youth in vain, till love refused, converted to disdain. Then mixing powerful herbs with magic art, she changed his form, he could not change his heart. Constrain'd him in a bird, made him fly with party-colored plumes, a chattering pie. In this high temple, on a chair of state, the seat of audience, old Latinus sate. and gave admission to the Trojan train, and thus with pleasing accents he began: "Tell me, ye Trojans, for that name you own, nor is your course upon our coasts unknown. Say what you seek, and whither were you bound? Were you by stress of weather cast aground? Such dangers as on seas are often seen, and oft befall to miserable men. Or come, your shipping in our ports to lay, spent and disabled in so long a way. Say what you want; the Latians you shall find, not forc'd to goodness, but by will inclin'd. For since the time of Saturn's holy reign, his hospitable customs we retain. I call to mind, but time the tale has worn, th' Aurunci told, that Dardanus, tho' born on Latian plains, yet sought the Phrygian shore, and Samothracia, Samos call'd before. From Tuscan Coritum he claim'd his birth, but after, when exempt from mortal earth, from thence